I would restart my agency if I was starting from zero. This is what I'm going to talk about. Everybody who's in this agency space, they all want to go and hit those massive goals that they have set for themselves, but they don't know how to do it. So in this video, I'm going to break down simply how I made my agency go from $0 a month to $50,000 a month. No money, and I used to work crazy hours like every dude told me to, but I didn't find any success. But after looking at things differently and finding these three main components that makes an agency go from zero to 500K a month, I went from this guy to this guy, a baller. I right now I'm making $50,000 a month. I don't know if you guys saw the previous video, but I showed proof and everything in details on how I started my agency and what I did. If you haven't watched it, I would recommend go back and check that video out too. But enough yapping, and this is how I would start my agency. So if I was if I were to lose everything tomorrow, let's say I lost every one of my connections, I lost every one of my uh, employees, I lost every money that I had, almost everything that I had, I would just start an agency once again. And I would still get it back to 50K a month because I know with all of my heart that I can do it. I've done it once. What's stopping me from doing it again? So this is how I'm going to do it. So whenever it comes to agencies, the three most important steps that there are niche. Finding a niche is super, super important. If you don't have a niche, you're gonna be like the jack on the street who's just chasing different people, different things, and he gets nowhere. If you set your mind on finding a certain type of girl or finding a certain type of job, then only you will find that thing. But if you are going ahead and just applying to every single job that you find or going after every single girl you see, you're not gonna get any dates, you're not gonna get any job. This is just an example, but this is the basic rule of life. Anything that you do, you should be specific, you should look for specific people, and if you do it in a specific way, you'll find way more success. Like, do not chase two different rabbits. That's what I'm trying to get at. If you're trying to chase two different rabbits, you're not gonna find shit. So chase only one rabbit, be more specific on how you'll find it and how you'll hunt it, and you'll get it. Second step is supplier. Now, I've told you about this in previous videos. You all you need to do is find few suppliers, and from there for onwards, you can find way more people just by connecting with other people, other clients. Sometimes I've had clients connect me to suppliers. And for the guys that don't know what I do, I have underground social media service agency. Basically, what I do is I sell exclusive services that nobody's heard about, and I sell it to a bunch of influencers, businessmen that nobody has worked with about on this. Like everybody offers these guys marketing, everybody offers these guys editing, but nobody offers these services. That's why I'm able to be successful in this niche, and I'm able to get these clients and these people as my clients. I mean, third thing that's the most important, outreach. Now, outreach is super important, and if you don't do this correctly, it will genuinely break your agency. This is genuinely make or break. Now, if you do outreach correctly, you can hit 50K a month, 50K a month super easily. But if you do your outreach badly, you'll hit $0 a month. So this is the most important thing for you to do. And if you don't listen to this video properly and see how I do my outreaches, you might not be able to do the same things as me. So first things first, this is how you do niche. So let me one sec. This is distracting, but here we go. So niche is important, but how do you find your niche? Now, in the previous videos, I've told you the type of niches there are. There's de-indexing, there's public relations, there's reputation management. and then there's usernames. There's a bunch of different niches in these exclusive services. However, the first one that I chose and I'm still stuck with is public relations. That's rep, and now I set it as reputation management because I have enough clients. But in the beginning, I genuinely stuck with a niche, and once I found enough clients, then I was able to upsell them on different things. Now, the guy who makes $0 a month, he always picks a general idea. Like I told you, one sec. I help people get famous. This is a very general statement. Let's say if I hit up a bald person and tell them, "Hey, do you want to buy do you want to buy a comb?" They won't buy it. It's a pretty general thing to sell. And if you do not specifically hit up the people who need it, and you do not niche down and sell it to people in a specific way, you're not going to get the results that you're looking for. Now, this is a very general statement. I help people get famous. Who do you help get famous? How do you help them get famous? Like, these things need to be in your offer whenever you're trying to reach out to clients, prospects, anybody you're trying to sell. You need to have one idea that's very simple and they get it clearly within the first second. If they don't understand your idea, they're not going to work with you. The guy who makes 50K a month, I help influencers get featured on news. Now, this is specific. This is good. He's saying, I help influencers. So he's working only specifically with influencers and he's helping them get featured on news to get them famous. Now, this is very simply understandable. And if we tell this to anybody as an introduction, they will understand what you're doing. But again, this is something in the middle. This is what I was usually doing, by the way, but one of my mentors told me that I need to start being even more specific and fuck the niche. I need to go into micro niches. And you don't need to you don't need to hit a bunch of influencers. You just need to hit a certain type of influencers and you'll still make money. You might even make way more money if you're way more specific. Here, I'll show you an example of what I mean. The guy who makes 500K a month, he would put his offer like this. I help influencers get featured on Forbes to help them gain credibility. So he's being very specific. A 50K a month agency owner is not as specific as 500K a month agency owner. He's like, I help influencers get featured on Forbes, not Forbes, and to help them gain credibility. So he's being very specific, and this is the part where you guys have to be creative in your own niches and your own ideas. But in my niche, if you copy paste this offer, you can make a lot of money to begin with. Or even for de-indexing, if you're just like, hey, I help companies with bad articles or bad reviews de-index their negative press online and help them be more clean, something like that. But it's not specifically, doesn't have to be perfect, but this is the main idea. Just give who you're specifically selling to, that being influencers or companies, and tell them what you're selling them. Specifically Forbes, or if you're doing de-indexing for reviews, say that and sell them. And this is always optional, but I like to add the result of the thing that we're doing directly in our offer. Now, this is just a niche. Again, if you don't know what kind of niches are in exclusive service agencies, go down below, click on my channel, look at my previous video, and you'll find everything. Second thing is suppliers. Now, how to find suppliers. Again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on suppliers because I've already talked about this in the previous video. You can check my previous video, or if you really specifically are not able to find a supplier using my previous video, you're scared of getting scammed, you're scared of paying extra fees. When you're just starting your agency, you don't want to spend a bunch of money. So sometimes these suppliers might ask you for upfront money. So instead of doing that, what you can do is you can hit me up on Discord and I'll help you find a bunch of suppliers and help you set up your agency in a way where you can find more suppliers on autopilot. Because as I told you in the previous video, the supply the supply is more important than the demand. Because if you do not have a good product or a good offer, you cannot sell. What I'm trying to get at is if you want to make a lot of fucking money, you want to have a good product and a lot of people buying it instead of having a shitty product and selling it to a bunch of people who might not buy it again or might not want to have a relationship with you anymore. So this is the basic stuff. If again you're starting an agency or you already have an agency and you're tired of doing your generic SMMA ecom slash Facebook ads agency, you would understand what I'm trying to say. You need to have a good product because again with Facebook ads everybody is doing them. But exclusive services like de-indexing or public relations or like getting people featured on Forbes is very rare. You don't even hear about this stuff. Not even in the news, you don't hear celebrities talking about it because they want to gatekeep this. So, specifically speaking, if you're good at it and you're good at talking to people and you're able to find good suppliers, you can sell almost anything. So, the better the service, the more clients you can get in this industry. I genuinely stand on that and I'll die on that hill always. So, here we go. The last and the most important step is outreach. So the three golden rules of outreach is first of all, you need to have a bunch of leads. Now, how do you get leads? One thing that I used to do a lot was I would go on Instagram. So I would go on Instagram and search up hashtag code, or I would search up fitness coach. My bad. Now, you would go here and find a bunch of influencers and people who are trying to make it big in the industry. You would just DM them. Like, all you need to do is find this and DM them and tell them, hey, I'm doing this for these type of people. If you're interested, we can hop on a call and do something great. Now, you don't specifically have to hit up personal trainers. This is what I used to do, but influencers and personal trainers are pretty great because they even in the starting when they don't have money, if you're able to sell them and make them understand what's the idea behind your service and how you can help them achieve their goal, because every influencer's goal is to get famous or every coach's goal is to sell more people on their services. So if you're able to sell these guys on anything uh, that helps them reach their goal, you'll make money. So like, look at this guy. This guy is a fitness coach. He's 7 years in fitness, has 15,000 followers. This guy might not have a lot of money, but if you're able to find what his goal is, which is, if you go on his link tree, he probably has a coaching. So, yeah, one-on-one coaching service. So his goal is to sell more coaching. If service like, hey, I'll get you featured here, and this will make you look more credible, so you can get more clients, he will genuinely go ahead and buy from you. Now, I need to go back and I'm gonna tell you more. But how do you get these leads? So, generally speaking, when you're on Instagram, there's a bunch of different people and there's a bunch of different leads that you can hit up, but it gets really hectic. Or even if in the later stages, when you have employees that are outreaching for you, you don't want them to go ahead and be doing that manually because that wastes so much time. So the best way you can do it is use something called Phantom Buster. So all you need to do is go on a bunch of influencers or coaches following list and or slash profile and literally use Phantom Buster to scrape every single one of their following as followers. You don't have to scrape followers, but you can scrape their following uh, and once you know who they are following, you can literally just hit up because most coaches follow other coaches slash business pages. So if I'm starting an industry, I'm gonna follow a person that's doing pretty good in the industry. So even in the beginning, if somebody's starting an agency, they're gonna look up to people like Iman Ghazi, Alex Ramosi, so they're gonna follow them. So you want to go there, follow people like those, and message them. Now, this is very important. Whenever you're scraping leads from something like Phantom Bus Restaurant, or there are a um, lot of other scrapers, the best thing to do is have a good Instagram profile. You need to look professional. The more professional you are, the more clients you get. So, how do you get more professional? I'm not gonna talk more about this and how to get more professional in this specific video. It's something I'm gonna talk about later and how to set up an Instagram profile that's gonna attract clients, get people to follow you, and get prospects to reply to you. Second thing about outreach is now volume. What I mean by volume is you're not gonna just message 50 people a day and think you're gonna get clients. I genuinely know one agency owner that used to do 5,000 outreaches a month and he used to get only 20 calls. Now, this is very shitty numbers. Uh, Getting 20 sales calls out of 5,000 outreaches is very shitty. Obviously, I helped him out and helped him fix his outreach so he was able to get more clients. But I'm telling you this, even with his shitty outreach that he was doing. Like he had the worst outreach you can known to man, to be honest. And even with that shittiest outreach, he was getting 20 booked calls a month, and he was closing two people a month. Now, just off of that, he was making 10K a month. So with the shittiest outreach, he's getting 20 booked calls and two clients a month. You can understand if you have the perfect outreach, a lot of volume and a lot of consistency, you can make a lot of money here. Again, I'm trying to still work on my agency where I'm trying to make more money, be more consistent, have more volume. I'm telling you, from what I've heard from my mentors and from my experience, if you generally increase your volume, you can get more clients. Obviously, you don't fuck up the quality. Like I said, always have quality, do not sell shitty product, and do not sell it in a shitty way. Now, third thing, and this is the most important part of outreach, it's consistency with improvement. If you don't have consistency, you'll fail. If you don't have improvement, you'll fail. So, e- I know a bunch of people. I was talking to an agency owner. This is a funny story. I was talking to an agency owner literally yesterday, and he's in Russia. He was talking about his agency and how he's not seeing success with his SMMA. And I was talking to him, and I was like, "Hey, how many outreaches are you doing today?" And he's like, I'm not seeing any success. I said, out of those 400, how many is cold calls and how many is just DMs? He said, oh, I'm doing 200 cold calls a day and I'm doing 100 DMs and 100 cold emails. So I said, okay, that's pretty good uh, consistency and really good volume for one guy who's just doing this from Serbia. Then why are you not seeing results? I was talking with him, I was getting nowhere with him, and he kept telling me, "Oh, I'm doing this consistently. Have a lot of volume." And so this guy is had the worst uh, cold call in the history, and he was only doing 400 outreaches a day, which is fine. It's not something that I would prefer, but like he was doing 400 outreaches a day, and he was doing similar to this guy who was doing like 5,000 outreaches a month, but at the end of the day, his cold call was so bad that he was not able to sell people. So again, like I told you guys, do not have a shitty product and do not sell in a shitty way. Because if you're trying to sell people with just the mindset of, oh, numbers is everything, but you chip out on quality, you're not gonna see the results that you're looking for. And you're gonna also get burnt out thinking about, oh, I work so hard, but I get no results. That's not true. You work hard, but you don't work smart. That's generally the case. It's not even about an exclusive service agency. It's about every single agency. Now, I'm gonna show you how I do my outreach and how you can copy paste this in your niche and your agency too. This obviously specifically is not for exclusive service agency. You can apply these mindset and these things in uh, your current agency and still get results. But obviously, if you're looking to switch and see the benefits of what I'm doing, you can use this outreach to get more clients. Now, this is one of my clients. His name is Sebastian. He's a pretty big Australian rapper. People in Australia have heard about him. He is a gangster. Yeah, a lot of people know about him in Australia. So this is how I got him. This is not my main profile, so this it doesn't have previous messages, but this is how I got him as a client on the first message. I was like, "Hey Sebastian, I saw you just launched a new album. I work with labels like Warner Bros. And help artists get featured on news to get more hype for their album. Is that something you would be interested in?" Look how simple this is, but how effective. Like, I got him as a client, and within a month, this guy referred me to 15 different people. This is very important. The people you reach out to here in this industry, whenever you're reaching out to influencers, artists, you got to make sure that your product and your outreach is amazing. Because if you're selling shitty services and you're being scummy and you're being inconsistent, people talk about you. Like, these guys, these artists, I've talked with them daily. As you saw, Musa, I've worked with Musa. This guy is the biggest brain rotted guy on the planet. This guy watches TikTok for hours, and he knows all the memes and everything. And if somebody scammed him, he talks about it. And so, what I'm trying to get at is you need to make sure that your outreach is good, and you need to have volume. Again, this is a pretty effective outreach that I use to get to 50K a month, so you can copy paste this and get more results. However, if you're in a different niche, I would just change it to accordingly. Now, if, like I was telling you, you cannot outreach to clients on a pretty old or a personal account, and you don't want to reach out to more than 50 people a day from the same account. So what you can do is you can come here to this website called z2u.com, and you can buy this buy accounts here for like $6 to $1. Like, you can buy accounts for pretty cheap here. And you want to make accounts that you can do a bunch of outreach or like have hire people to do outreach on, because these accounts sometimes do get banned whenever you're outreaching. I know previous agency owners that are already in SMMA will know about this, but if you don't know, you need to get a bunch of accounts and outreach to people from here. Because after 50 DMs a day, sometimes Instagram shadow bans you and you're not able to send more messages. So I would be very careful. I would even look up on how to warm up Instagram accounts for cold DMs. A pretty good guy for that is Charlie Morgan. Just search up how he does it. And basically what he does is he does 5 DMs a day for the first few days, and then he bumps it up to 10 DMs a day, and then it keeps going up to 50 DMs a day, and within 2 weeks he's up to 50 DMs, and the accounts are warmed up so they don't get shadow banned instantly. But yeah, that's all for today. If you want to learn how to get to 50K a month in exclusive service agency, or if you're even looking for help in your own agency, I'm able to help you guys. All you need to do is just message me on Discord, or if you want a one-on-one call, I'll leave a link to my Calendly in the bio.